Okay, hello everybody. So let's start our Monday session to prompt our mind, our emotions, our energy up for a best version of the week that's starting today. And yeah, it's the beginning of the month as well. So throughout the meditation, if you want to also expand all of the contemplation to the whole month, feel free to do that. So on these words, first of all, let's make ourselves comfortable by giving ourselves a little stretch. So if you want to follow me, I just like to do something very simple, extending my arms, rolling my shoulders. And if you've been sitting for a long time, you might want to stand up, shake your legs, and sit back down. So whatever feels right for you. And then whenever you feel nice and comfortable, just close your eyes and first make yourself aware of the weight of your body, where you're sitting, the weight of your body on this earth. Just noticing how heavy you're feeling on your seat. And then noticing a little bit further down into your feet, noticing how your feet are pressing onto the floor. And you can press your feet a little bit more into the ground to feel it better, feel that connection, and setting that intention to ground yourself. Just allowing your energy to ground into the earth. And once you've done that, very simply moving your attention, your focus all the way up from your feet, through your legs, your abdomen, and into your chest. And into your chest, in the middle of your chest, into your heart. And in the heart, we're going to connect. And to do that, you can either place a hand on your heart to feel it, to touch it, or else just tune in your attention a little bit more subtly to either hear or feel the sensations of your heartbeats in your chest. Maybe you can feel your heart beating. Maybe you can weirdly hear it beating in your chest. And once you do, then imagine or visualize as if your breath is flowing in and out directly through your heart. Even though you're breathing in the most normal way possible, just through your nose. You breathe normally, but you imagine as if your breath enters your heart when you breathe in and flows out from your heart when you breathe out. And now we start to harmonize and slow down our breathing. So very simply, just breathe a little slower and deeper than you usually do. And here, all you need to do is try to have the rhythm of your in-breath and out-breath as regular as possible, so that your in-breath is about the same length as your out-breath. And so we are going to breathe together like this for a minute or two, so you have time to find a rhythm that is comfortable for you. And I'll let you know when we're ready for the next step. Okay. And with this slow, deeper breath centered in your heart, you might already start feeling a little bit more calm. And we're going to take advantage of this calm, quiet state to start our contemplations. And we're going to start by reminding ourselves of the vision that we have for our own future. So, what is the vision for our life? If you are clear on the vision for your life, remind yourself of it. And if you're not, or if it's a little bit too abstract, maybe you have some shorter term goals that you're very clear on. And in that case, bring them to your attention, to your awareness, and ask yourselves, is this the most important goal for me, or is this a stepping stone to something that's even more important to me? Sometimes we might think that the big goal is having that promotion with more money, but then think a little bit further. Why do I want that? Maybe because on the other side of that, it will allow me for something else, something even better. Maybe there is something more important, maybe not. There is no right or wrong. And in any case, ask yourselves, what's the energy that I'm really looking for with these goals, with this vision? Is this an energy, a quiet energy of peace and gratitude? Maybe it's a more vibrant energy of adventure or freedom or excitement. Just try to sense what is it that your system is really itching for. And so after we've done that, reminding ourselves what's ahead of us, where we want to get to eventually. Now we're gonna turn briefly towards the past and contemplate how the week that is just past unfolded for us. And we're gonna look at both what worked really well and what didn't work as well as we hoped for. And here you can follow the flow of your own thoughts, or else you can do it in a structural way. First, going to what worked well, what do I want more of, what do I want to keep and nurture in my life. Do all of this and then move on to listing what didn't work as well as I hoped. What would I rather let go of? What would I rather change? So let's do this for a minute or two, reflecting on the past week. And then I'll ask you for a few more questions to ponder about. What worked well, what didn't work so well, and maybe you're focused on one area of your life, or maybe you're contemplating your life in general with everything that's important to you. Again, no right and wrong. This is your time, so just do it the way that it flows best for you. Okay, and as you're contemplating the content of this past week, what worked well and didn't work as well as you thought, maybe just notice, maybe things work well because you achieve results, and just notice if also the process that took you to the results, does it also contribute to something you want to nurture in your life? And in the things that don't work so well sometimes, maybe you thought, okay, it didn't work well because I didn't get the results, but maybe in the journey or the process that led to the outcome, maybe there were some aspects that brought you a lot of joy or that already felt aligned. So just have a little reflection on that as well. That maybe sometimes just because something doesn't seem to work on paper, maybe there are still aspects in the process that are very much in the flow for us. And maybe the things that seem to work well, maybe the results are great, but we don't necessarily enjoy the journey that takes us there. So just look at this, ponder on this for a few moments, and see really where were you in the flow? What seems to give you the most joy? even if it doesn't necessarily means results or immediate success. Ideally, we would want to be in the flow as much as possible so that both the journey is enjoyable and it also leads to outcomes that are working. And so now I'm just gonna ask us to reflect on one simple question. If a version of last week was to repeat itself over and over into the future, does it feel like it would get you in that flow, in a flow that brings you closer to your vision, in a flow that helps you to achieve your goals, in a flow that is aligned to your values? Just get a sense for that. Maybe you're already well on track, or maybe it's not quite aligned yet. And if it's not aligned yet, no judgment. Welcome this information as valuable. And now, in our next step, we are going to start to course correct. And to do that, I'm going to invite us to get our imagination on board. Let's invite our imagination to play. And we're going to now imagine the best possible version of the week that's coming now, that's starting today. And if you want to, you can push this contemplation to the whole month. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit your imagination, and allow yourself to imagine what's the best possible version of this week, best possible scenario, best possible outcomes. If everything worked well, if you are in an amazing flow where you're at your best, where you're making decisions easily, where you're taking action smoothly, imagine what amazing flow you're creating and what impact do you have. So what if everything that's in your control is working perfectly well, perfectly as planned? And then allow your imagination to go further, because you're in such a flow that it impacts people around you. So things that are not in your control also seem to align in an amazing way. What does the week look like then? What could you imagine happen? So just imagine yourself in that flow, looking at everything you're producing, you're creating, and the positive impacts it has on everyone else around you, and the ripple effects that creates. And again, allow your imagination to go as wild as it can. Remember, you're in a flow state. You're generating, you're making easy decisions, smooth actions. You're having a positive impact in the world. How do you see the week happen? What do you see? What do you feel? What do you hear? And also, allow your imagination to go one step further and imagine what new possibilities and synchronicities, opportunities can possibly enter your life as a result of this positive cycle, this high energy, high impact flow that you've created. And again, don't limit yourself. Allow yourself to dream big. What new possibilities, opportunities, synchronicities are entering your life this week, this month, as a result of the flow, the life-enhancing flow that you're creating. Okay. I hope your imagination is going wild. But let's also set an intention that there are things still outside of the realm of our current imagination. And so let's set an intention that we're open to receive and welcome in our life possibilities that we haven't yet been able to imagine. So just saying to yourself, yes, I'm open when possibilities come into my life that don't look familiar to me. I will still recognize them for what they are and welcome them into my life. Okay. And now for this next step, I'm going to invite you to notice how you're feeling after imagining the best possible version of the week and the months to come. Remember, your mind doesn't really know the difference between real or imagined. So how did that make you feel? What sensations does all this good stuff evoke in your body? So maybe it makes you feel a very precise way that you're familiar with and you can put a name on it. Something like gratitude or expanded or joyful. And it can be anything for you, of course. And maybe you're not quite sure. Maybe it's just a sensation that you're feeling in your body, but you don't know exactly how to name it. And it's okay too. Just pay attention to these sensations. And now we're going to make them a little bit more vibrant. And to do that, I'm going to invite you to imagine as if these sensations, these feelings, these emotions are flowing in and out through your heart with each of your breaths. So every time you breathe in, it's as if these sensations enter your body through your heart, and you can feel them with more intensity. Every time you breathe in, the sensations get more present and vibrant within yourself. Every time you breathe in, you're soaking in more of these sensations into your body. And every time you breathe out, you're also radiating out these sensations from your heart into the space around you and in front of you. Every time you breathe out, it's as if you're feeling or visualizing or sensing all of these emotions flowing out from your heart and radiating into the space around you and in front of you. And every time you breathe out, these sensations are gaining more and more power. Every time you breathe in, you feel them with more intensity inside your body. And every time you breathe out, you can feel or see that they are radiating out further, wider, with more power. So each cycle of breath, these sensations come in and out through the heart with more intensity, more potency, more vibrancy, to the point that you nearly feel like your whole being is vibrating, is oscillating, is creating a wave of energy, a wave of heart energy that is charged up with these sensations that are totally aligned with the best possible version of your future. And as you keep breathing in and out and feeling these sensations getting stronger with every cycle of breath, now with again a little bit more imagination, you're witnessing the power of these sensations, of this heart energy radiating out through your heart, and imagining that it is now all honing in like a laser beam right in front of you. You've created such a strong, powerful flow of highly positive sensations and vibrations that are shooting out from your heart with such power that they're literally creating a portal right in front of you. It's like opening up a door, a pathway right in front of you in time and space. And you sense that this portal opens up to a better version of your timeline, a version of the week and a version of the month that is even more aligned with the future that you want to create for yourself. So now we are going to get ready to step into that portal. So in your mind's eyes, just imagine as if you're walking towards the portal, and stepping through the portal, knowing that as you step through it, the timeline behind you is now dissolving, and a new timeline is opening up in front of you. A new version of the week, a new version of the month, totally aligned with all of the possibilities and opportunities that are supporting your vision for your future. So for a moment, as you're on that doorstep, just going to invite you to maybe take one more step to really enter the other side. And following your intuition here, whether you're already taking a few steps, or if you want to just soaking the moment, just enjoying, staying still, and receiving this moment into yourself. So here, just follow your intuition, what is best for you. But in any case, enjoy for a moment the connection with this new version of your reality. So taking some deep breath, breathing in these new possibilities, connecting with them. Also, if you want, look around and notice, imagine, what do you see in this new version of the week? What do you notice? Maybe the light is different. Maybe the colors are different. Maybe they're more vibrant. Maybe the sounds are shifting as well. Maybe, maybe not. Again, no judgment. But if you're paying attention to the sounds, maybe you can hear things in a different way. Maybe there are different voices. Maybe you recognize the voices of the people you love. Just allow yourself to notice what it feels like. If you were to touch something in this new world, in this new version of reality, what does it feel like? Imagine feeling the texture, the temperature. Even smelling around, if you're sensitive to smells, maybe there's something there as well to notice. So allow yourself to enjoy paying attention to the sensations that you're having in this new version of your timeline. And enjoy this moment, feeling that connection. Maybe you're feeling even more connected and expanded. Maybe you're feeling even more calm. Maybe you're feeling even more excited. Just notice what it is for you. And in that moment, we want to make sure that we are going to stay connected with this expanded version of ourselves and our week and our month, and to be able to remind ourselves of this expanded state that we're in now. We're going to create an anchor. We're going to create a little reminder for ourselves, and that is something very simple. It's a very simple physical gesture or movement, something that's simple and that you will remember easily. So it could be, for example, to touch your thumb and index finger together, or any other fingers. It could be something as simple as placing your hand over your heart. It could be something like rolling your shoulders or taking a deep breath through your nose. So whatever anchor you want to choose, just choose it now. And then as you're noticing this expanded state that you're in right now, in this new version of your reality, we're going to now apply this anchor as a reminder, anchoring this state into our body and mind. So whichever anchor you chose, apply it now. If you chose to touch your fingers, touch them now. If you chose touching your heart, touch it now. If you chose to roll your shoulders or take a deep breath, do this now. And as you are applying your anchor, just know that you're locking in this moment, the energy, the sensations, the connections with all of these new possibilities. You are now locking them in to your system. You're locking them into your mind, into your body. And it's your signal to yourself, your signal to the universe, that you are in this new state. So at any moment during the week, whenever you need, all you need to do is just apply your anchor to immediately being brought back into this state, connected with the possibilities, the opportunities, the synchronicities that this new version of reality has for you. So before we part ways, just gonna invite you to set one last intention, that you will apply your anchor every time you need it, and that you will now notice in your life during the week all of the moments of flow that you know mean that you are living your new present, that you are living this new version of your reality. So just say to yourself, yes, I am open, ready to notice all of the clues, the little details in my life, the moments of synchronicity and flow that are proving to myself that I'm on the right track, that I am on a path that is aligned with my vision for my life. Okay. And now after doing this, we are at the end of our session, and we're going to bring ourselves back to the here and now, the new here and now. And to do that, let's just rub our hands together until they're warm. Place them at the top of our head and gently start to touch every part of our body, starting with our head, down to our neck and our shoulders, down our shoulders and our arms, and then back up to the shoulders, and this time on the front of the body through the torso and the abdomen, and then going back up under the arms, and this time touching the sides of our body, the side of our rib cage and our hips, and going back up as much as we can in our back, touching as much of our back as we can, and as if we are reminding ourselves of the boundaries of our own bodies. And then from our hips through our legs and our knees, all the way down to our lower legs and our feet. And arriving to your feet, if you can touch your feet, it's great, but if you can't, it's okay. Just press your feet into the ground one more time, feeling that connection to the earth and grounding yourself again. And once you've done that, you can give yourself another stretch, opening your eyes, and welcome back. Ta-da! So thank you so much for following along. See you next week. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Monday for our next session. Bye!